Hi, welcome to the Hicks Homestead YouTube channel. My name's Wade, and it has been quite a minute since I've uploaded a video. I have been super busy with getting this house right here built. Had a lot of stuff go right, few things go wrong. Had to work through some changes and things like that. So I wanted to make a video today instead of making one on the power station, which I owe you guys a follow-up on how it performed living off-grid for 5 months. So I'll get on that one pretty soon. So make sure that you like and subscribe so you're notified when I upload that next video on the Pecaron power station. So the yard got seeded in, and of course it's been really dry. Well's working overtime right now to water. But let's go inside and take a look at the homestead. Living in the country in a dirt road, I always said that I wanted a house that looked like it belonged in a subdivision in the middle of nowhere. So, yep, house is a mess. I'm in the middle of moving stuff in. Had to have a mudroom, nothing but sand out there like you saw. Needed a big laundry room with a sink for processing all kinds of stuff. Clothes, animals, who knows. I'll figure out a good use for utilitub. Master bedroom, yeah, I'm slumming it till I get my bed moved in. And no, I did not pick that color. That was a suggestion. Bathrooms, you know, pretty cool. I really wanted a barn door like I had in one of my other houses, and I wanted to leave it kind of natural wood because I did go with gray walls and I needed something for color. Dining room, kitchen, my little water refrigerator, very inefficient. Nice sized kitchen, plenty of cabinets, great countertops. One of the change orders that I was talking about was making sure that my vent fan actually goes outside. Because why have a vent that just blows all that grease and odor and stuff back in the house? This was a must-have. This is the pantry that I wanted. Probably not quite as big as it really needs to be, but it is big enough for me. Living room, not super huge, not super tiny. Here's the foyer. Here's my office where I can get my computers and everything hooked up so I can actually edit videos and make things that aren't just me running around with my cell phone. Starlink coming into the house. I had to do that myself. Mesh network routers. I did cover this in a couple of videos ago. But this is for my ham radios. So I have 4 connections. I usually only run 2 antennas. And that gives me the ability, if something goes wrong with one of the feeds, I have another one. Guest bathroom. One of the bedrooms in the front. And just today, I got bed frames delivered. So excited about that because do have kids. That's why I have so many bedrooms. They come and visit me from time to time. I have 3 kids, 3 bedrooms if they all decide to show up at the same time. Cool. This out here is my security lighting. I think that's the switch. Yeah, that's the light switch. This one here is for the security lighting around back. But I really need to change this out to some sort of smart switch or some switch with a timer. If you guys have any suggestions, leave a comment on what you think I should do as far as setting up automation. I don't have a lot of experience with automation. But yeah, this is the house. Got some temporary stuff in. Tonight's going to be my first night in the house since I got my certificate of occupancy today. Ham radio stuff, this is where they come out of the house. So, as you can see way in the distance back there by my shipping container, I've got my little push-up ham radio mast, which will get moved closer to the house, and then I'm going to guy wire that in. And because I have a yard and the push-up tower is going to be out there probably a little bit further away than my watering sprinkler out there, I'm going to bury some 2-inch conduit to pull the cables out to the base of the tower. So that's exciting. Still waiting to get fencing put in. That's coming up soon. Big priority is to get some gardens in. And this area that's really dry across here, that's where my septic drain field is. One of the things that held up the project was the building inspector wanted me to put a mound system in. And the reason he wanted a mound system put in is because when he came out here and dug a hole, the sand changed color and said that was the water table. I disagreed. Soil engineer came in and I got the system I wanted. I insulated this house to the max. In my other video, you could see the whole attic is spray foamed. I have a exterior door in my attic that goes into the conditioned space that's above the drywall, sheetrock drywall. And that allowed me to downsize my air conditioner from a 4-ton to a 3.5 ton. And in all honesty, it could probably go 3 tons, but they did a 3.5 ton. That is the one inhibiting factor from going solar without going full retard, because the starting amps required for that system is about 113 locked rotor amps. So it takes a pretty big inverter system to be able to deliver that power for that really short period. I know I could probably put a soft start on it, but I really do want to set it up where I can take this house off the grid. That is the ultimate goal. That's why I insulated it the way that I did. The reason there's white vinyl siding on the outside, you would not believe how cool it stays inside that house. Same with the roof. The house stays so cool inside. Without the air conditioner on, it was 90 degrees outside, and inside the house it was like 79 in the afternoon. So that's awesome. I did make one mistake, and it's a me problem. If you notice, my Starlink antenna cable is hanging outside right there. There's more slack up in the attic. But I thought I was going to get away with putting my Starlink on the wall, and I went and measured everything while everything was framed up to determine right where that I needed to put the long arm mount. And it turns out that the antenna actually needs to see to the southwest behind it. And I'll go show you that setup. Now, this may turn into a slightly longer video. Now we're at 9 minutes. I still haven't put my chicken coop together. Been busy. And I worked all day today too. I've been doing a lot of day job work, and it's had me exhausted. Makes me realize how much out of shape I am. This is some of the stuff that they had brought the lumber in, and the wind blew it here, and it's keeping the weeds dead underneath that tree, so I'm leaving it alone for the time being. But let's shift gears. Talking about Starlink, and I'll go ahead and, like I said before, I'll make a detailed video of how my experience went off-grid with a power station, portable power station. So make sure that you watch that. But what I was talking about, the Starlink antenna. So it actually sees satellites from the back side of this antenna, not just the front side, because it's some sort of scanned array, bunch of little bitty antennas that beam form and track the satellites. So if I put that too close to the house, if the house is like right here where my hand is, it'll have an outage every 5 minutes, and it won't be usable. So that's causing me to put a post in and actually put the long arm mount outside the post as high as possible to clear that roof line and get that angle to the southwest. This thing's actually pointed to the northeast. So that was an oops on my part. I didn't actually know how far the eave was going to come out on the house, and now I got to go put a post on the ground. I will touch on the off-grid for one thing. It has been running my camper, my air conditioner. Last night I ran my air conditioner all night. It was hot. It didn't cool off outside. I think the low last night was like 72 and humid, and this thing was just a trooper. It was at 56% when I checked it this morning, and you can see right there we're at 99%, only pulling 100 watts, and that's because I have a fan on. I did touch on it last time. These two panels are actually hooked to one of the expansion batteries. I did have one into the main power station, but I did an experiment for input into a battery to see how far off it would go. Each one of these panels puts out about 70 watts nominal. They're rated at 130. Not really a fan of this eco-worthy brand, because believe it or not, what I paid for these two panels that are rated for 130 watts, I paid more for those panels than I did that solar panel. These three solar panels I paid $100 a piece for. And they're 400 watt bifacial. If you do order solar panels, make sure you order extra, because they will put pallet forks and damage your panels. I had 4 panels that were damaged in shipping, and I only budgeted for 3 of them being damaged. The last one has damage to the frame, but it's not affecting operations. These panels here are toast. Just with that damage, what you can't see is that those cracks radiate through all of the cells and killed it. So it is dead as a hammer. But anyway, that is the Homestead tour. A lot more progress made on the house. The house is done, ready to move into. I've started taking my stuff out of my temporary carport. That's going to come down so it doesn't turn into a missile and blow around in hurricane season. I was going to repair my chicken coop, and when I was getting ready to cut that chicken nesting box part off and disassemble it, I found out the whole inside, in spite of being placed on top of pressure treated lumber, the termites ate that thing up. So back to the drawing board. I got to get another nesting box. I can't say enough about these wireless security cameras. These little things are awesome. They kind of deserve their own review video. They actually track people. They've got software on board that recognizes a person or a vehicle, and it'll follow them around. And if multiple cameras catch them, it'll do cross-camera tracking. So that's real exciting. But anyway, thank you for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe and share the video if you think your friends will find it interesting. Anyway, thanks for watching.